Hello folks and welcome. It is the crown jewel race for F1. It is the Monaco Grand Prix. In this video we're going to be running through what's coming up over the course of the Grand Prix weekend. Starting off with the fact that there is still some Thursday running. Monaco used to have some Thursday running. It used to be the free practice sessions for F1 used to happen on the Thursday, and then the Friday would not have any on-track action. That changed a couple of years ago, but F3 and F2 and Porsche Super Cup will all have practice. In local time, it's 1 PM for F3, 3 PM for F2, and then 4:30 PM for Porsche Cup. In UK time, that means midday, 2 o'clock and half 3. On the Friday, the F3 qualifying will start around 11 o'clock local time. They will be doing 2 separate groups. And then you will have F1, FP1 at around 1:30 local time. F2's qualifying will also be in 2 groups, and that will happen around 3 local time, before F1's FP2 happens at 5 o'clock local time, and the Porsche Super Cup qualifying at 6:45. And again, UK times, that means F3 qualifying at about 10 AM, FP1 at about 12:30. F2 qualifying at about 2 o'clock, FP2 at about 4 o'clock, and then around 5:45 in the evening you have the Porsche Super Cup qualifying. Then on Saturday you will have F3 Sprint at 10:45 local, followed by at 12:30 FP3, the F2 Sprint at 2:15 local, F1 qualifying at 4 o'clock. So that is in UK time. F3 Sprint at 9:45, F2 Sprint at 1:15, and F1 qualifying at 3 PM. And then on Sunday, starting at 8 o'clock local time, you have F3 feature, then at 9:40 you have the F2 feature, then you have the Super Cup at midday local time, and the Grand Prix starting at 3 PM local time. In the UK, that means 7 o'clock for the F3, 8:40 for the F2, Super Cup at 11, F1 at 2 o'clock. Also bear in mind that there is a rule change for the Monaco Grand Prix, and no, I'm not talking about the front wing technical directive that comes in from Spain. Remember, this is a 2-stop race weekend. It's something the FIA approved to try and improve the racing. We will also have these softer tyres that we last saw, well, last time out at Imola, including the new for 2025 C6 tyre. And what that will mean is they're expecting higher tyre degradation. They're expecting everybody to use the soft, medium and hard should it stay dry. And yeah, we could see more pit strategy coming into it this weekend. That said, I doubt that weather is going to play that much of a factor. Looking at the forecasts, there is a high of 18 degrees on the Sunday, similarly on the Friday, and precipitation is quite low. On the Sunday it sits at around 5%. The highest I see for the whole weekend is actually on Saturday, where around the time of FP3 it could go as high as 35%. Then turning the clocks back 12 months, we see Charles Leclerc win from pole. Piastri second from second, Sainz third from third. In fact, all the way through the top 10, everybody finished where they started. With then Norris, Russell, Verstappen, Hamilton, Tsunoda, Albon and Gasly. Bearing in mind that this was where we had 4 retirements on the first lap, the only retirements we had in the race. Kevin Magnussen and Nico Hulkenberg were collected in an accident which also involved Sergio Perez on the run-up to Casino Square, which triggered a red flag. However, before that red flag came out, Esteban Ocon was to pitch himself almost Rocket League meme-esque off of Pierre Gasly, meaning that he was retired on the spot, and it then contributed to, I think just before the Canadian Grand Prix, wasn't it? The announcement that he was going to be leaving Alpine at the end of the year. But should we expect Ferrari to be at the front 12 months on from their win here around the Principality with the local driver? Possibly. I mean, ride height shouldn't play too much of a factor when it comes to Monaco, given, you know, it's a slower track. And ride height for the bumps. And yeah, power doesn't necessarily play as much of an impact, or does straight line speed. Yes, it is often the case, as people argue, that it is won or lost on the Saturday. But you never know. More strategy this year could throw up some surprises come Sunday. Anyways, as always, those are my thoughts, those are my feelings. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, folks, and until next time, it's bye-bye for now.